Hi friends, it's Michelle Maddox of Sedona Meditation Experiences with another episode of Sedona Meditation Adventures. This is a show that I do where I explore the outer terrain of Sedona while exploring the inner terrain of yourself and investigating mindfulness and meditation tools. So thank you for joining me. This week I'm just outside of Sedona and I chose a barren place so you can see what the desert looks like right now. And I'll show you what it looks like around here. And notice the sky and the dry desert ground. So normally this time of year we're having thunderstorms every day. Big thunderstorms. It's monsoon season and some people around here call them monsoon storms. I'm gonna have to wear my sunglasses. It's very sunny out. And we've had two since monsoon season started kind of around July 4th. And it's just not happening this year. So people here call it a non-soon. It's just not happening. And this is extremely unusual. And it's the, I think, third year in a row where the monsoon season started off with some promise, some cloud activity, maybe a little bit of rain, and then just kind of petered out. And it's very sad because this is the desert and monsoon season is when Arizona and other places, but specifically Arizona, receive the majority of their precipitation. And when we don't get it, that causes problems. We are in a drought that seems to be intensifying again. It looked like it was ending. And now it's definitely intensifying. And, it's not just the water that is the bringer of life, but it's the plants, the animals, the environment here. So it's very sad, and it looks like, the models and the climatologists agree that it's because of human-induced changes to our natural world, which are creating changes in the climate. And so it's sad also because it's one of the reasons that I fell in love with Arizona. Monsoon season, it's just beautiful. When the rain comes to the desert and you feel that sense of, water and everything grows so fast and the animals are so happy. And it's just beautiful to see the clouds and the sunsets and the lightning. And we are not getting any of that now. It's just, as you can see, pretty much clear skies. There's a few clouds in the sky, but there's no vertical development to those clouds. They're not growing into thunderstorm clouds. And what you can't really sense in the video is how dry the air is here. It's just bone dry. And, it's sad. It's deeply sad. And I wanted to talk with you about that today, about how meditation often is something we turn to feel better, to be calm and feel more peaceful. And that's lovely. But that's not all that meditation is about. Meditation is about being with what's real. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's hard. There's grief, there's sadness, there's disappointment, there's fear. And it's important to let those things see the light of your meditation also. To be with these things, not to try to pretend they don't exist and I'm happy and peaceful all the time. That's not realistic, right? We're human beings and we have a full spectrum of feelings, and if one thing can be said about what's been happening in 2020 so far, there's been a lot of sadness and disappointment and confusion and fear with coronavirus, with the social changes that are happening in the United States and elsewhere. And now, for me anyway, and for many people, really seeing that climate change is upon us. It's not something to talk about and try to sway minds anymore. Like, that time has passed. It's happening. And maybe we can live in denial for a little bit longer. We've got wells, we can irrigate, we can still keep the party going, so to speak. But for how much longer? how much longer can this area go without rain before it really starts to take a toll on, a livable habitat? So not to sound all Debbie Downer, but just addressing something that's very near and dear to my heart, and trying to bring some reality and some dealing with what is into the conversation. So today, what I'd like for you to do is join me in a meditation, and the intention here is to just be with what is. Whatever you're feeling. I'm not saying you have to feel sad or tap into any grief. Maybe that's at the surface for you, and so it's a good opportunity to explore those feelings. Or maybe you're feeling something else, and that's okay. But we're going to practice just being with what is. And I'd like to share with you a sort of visual that works for me, and that is to imagine yourself when you're meditating. See yourself meditating. And the thing about meditation also is, a little sideline here, you can have a messy house and still sit down and meditate. You don't have to have everything perfect before you meditate, right? That's the ego. Everything can be a mess. There can be chaos everywhere. And still, you can sit down and tap into the peace that's within you. It's not out there. It's a peace that's in you. So the image that I wanted to share is you can, in your mind's eye, see yourself sitting in soda water. So bubbly water, and these bubbles are floating by you. And you can imagine that those bubbles are sort of the things in your life, the fears, the sadnesses, the disappointments, the funky moods, the anger that you feel, the undigested bits of your life that are making themselves known to your mind. And when you're meditating, it's not a time to sit down and ruminate and get lost in the dramas and the stories of these things. But also when you meditate, you don't want to be denying these things. Like there's thoughts that are just kind of staticky, and in meditation we teach, just let those thoughts go and come back to a central focus. And you can do that on some of these bigger feelings, bigger thoughts that carry an emotional weight, kind of stickier feelings. But we kind of do that during our normal day. These things pop into our awareness. We're like, no, not now. I don't have time to feel that grief. Or not now. I can't be bothered with the sadness. And so we just deny it, basically. Tuck it under the rug and move on with our happy face on. And you don't want to do that in meditation. Part of the point of meditation is just sitting with yourself and being real with yourself. And when you deny these feelings, you're not being real with yourself. So it's a fine balance between these feelings that emerge, not getting sucked into the drama, but also not denying them. So what's the other road? The other road is to see them like bubbles floating by. And you don't have to do anything about them right now. They're not problems to solve. They're not issues to analyze. It's simply enough to recognize it and say, okay, I see you. I see you. And maybe, feel you. I feel the sadness here. And it's okay in your meditation to kind of maybe express that emotion. But when you do that, sometimes you need to recognize you're not necessarily meditating anymore, right? You used your meditation to get in touch with a feeling, and now you're kind of stepping away from the meditation to let that feeling move through you and maybe do some healing work with it. And maybe you'll step back into the meditation, or maybe, you'll continue with your self-healing. But just be aware that meditation and a self-healing session can sometimes look the same, but they're different things. So I'm not telling you it's wrong to feel your feelings and go into that when you're meditating, but I'm just calling your attention to the fact that when you choose to do that, you're maybe not in that same meditative state of mind anymore. So whatever comes up for you today or any time when you do a practice like this, give yourself the freedom to move with the feelings if it feels right. Or if you simply want to observe the bubble floating by, you can maybe say to yourself, okay, I see this. I feel really scared about what the lack of monsoon season means, for my future in this area. But I'm not going to deal with it right now. I will take time later today and maybe journal about this or work with it in some other way. So you have lots of options when you're meditating. Okay, my friends, so join me for a short session of just sitting with what is. So make yourself comfortable, whether you're outdoors, indoors, in a non-moving car, wherever you are. Just make yourself comfortable and go ahead and close your eyes. And take a couple of deep breaths and just let all the static from your day go. And drop your energy down into your body. Notice where it is. It's probably floating around your head. That's where it is for a lot of us these days. We think a lot. Wherever it is, consciously pull your energy down into your chest. You can do that by using the power of your breath. And feel the breath moving through your chest. Become aware of the sensations in your chest. They could be physical sensations on your skin and your muscles, or they could be more energetic sensations, maybe a tingling or an energetic awareness. And now drop the energy lower, down into your belly, becoming aware of the sensations in your belly, using your breath to help concentrate your energy and your focus in your belly. And now move down into your hips and become aware of the parts of your body that are making contact with the ground and the seat. And know that your connection to the ground connects you all the way to the heart of the earth. And take a breath or two with this sense of groundedness. When we do a meditation to sit with our feelings, you want to be fully embodied so that you can feel your emotions. You can feel them physically as tightness or some kind of physical sensation in some part of your body. And you can also feel them energetically. So become aware of your breath. Feel the ancient rhythm of breath moving in and out of your lungs, filling your body with fresh oxygen and releasing what your body no longer needs. And now call to mind whatever feelings want to present themselves to you right now, knowing that you don't have to get lost in the drama of the feelings. Be the observer. What bubbles are floating by you? I'll mention a few feelings and you can kind of use my words to feel in your own self if that resonates. Sadness, anger, happiness, concern, excitement, uncertainty, hope. We'll meditate in silence for a minute or so and just sit with what is. You can watch the bubbles float by, maybe feel the emotion move through you, but just be present and with whatever it is that you're feeling. How did it go? Were you able to sit with what is? Remember, meditation is a practice. If you feel like you need to work on that and practice, then you're doing it right. Thank you for joining me today. If you choose to come to Sedona at this time, I am doing private meditation experiences out on the Red Rocks, and I'd be happy to talk with you about taking you and your partner or whoever you're traveling with out onto the Red Rocks to learn about meditation and experience the beauty of Sedona and feel that through a guided meditation. So I look forward to joining you again next week. In the meantime, have a beautiful, safe, and peaceful week. Goodbye for now.